How are you doing? This is Mr. Marshall. We are on geography, and today we want to talk about plantation agriculture. So I'm going to explain what the term plantation means. It can be called plantation or it can be called an estate agriculture. Right? What is an estate agriculture or plantation agriculture? This is the large scale production of what we call cash crops. So of what we call cash crops. Such as sugarcane, tobacco, tea, coffee, wheat, barley, and rubber. Ndo anonzi machi plantations, right? Toda kumbotarisa kuti unoziva sei, how do you know that this is a plantation agriculture? How do you know this is a plantation agriculture? So first of all, we are going to teach you on how do you identify a plantation agriculture, and in this case we are referring to what we call characteristics of a plantation agriculture, or what we call the features of plantation agriculture, the features, the characteristics, the properties of what we call plantation agriculture. These are the things that will help us to identify what a plantation agriculture. So number one, tinoziva plantation agriculture because they are monocultural. That is the first point. They are monocultural. What do you say by saying monocultural? It means they grow only one type of a crop. They grow only one type of a crop on the same piece of land year after year. For example, in Chirezi, they grow sugarcane. Under what comes, they only grow sugarcane. That is a good example of a plantation agriculture. That is the first characteristic. Number two, it uses large piece of land. That is the second characteristic of what you call a plantation agriculture. Then number three, it is capital intensive. In other words, we are saying it requires high capital. Why? For purchasing inputs. What are the inputs? These are the things needed to start a business, needed to start agriculture. So for us to purchase inputs, we need high capital, since we are going to grow cash crops, right? And also to develop infrastructure. Then number three, plantation agriculture, they are labor intensive, which means they require high labor. And it is very, very important to note that they also require labor for both skilled and unskilled workers. For example, Chirezi, it employs about 6,000 people. Right, it usually produces for export and produce cash crops only. Iyo tamboitaura pa definition tikati large scale anongoita production of cash crops. Saka kungotaura kuti they produce cash crop is another characteristic. Kungotaura kuti they produce products mainly for export is another character. So there are 2 points there. Let us move on and shed more light on the characteristics, right? Most of the plantation farms in Zimbabwe are owned by foreign companies. Foreign companies or multinational companies, right? For example, the Anglo-American company. Why most of the plantations are owned by foreign companies or multinational companies? Because these are the ones that can get the capital that is needed to start a plantation, which means these foreign companies, they have enough capital to start a plantation, right? Most plantation farms are irrigated, which means they use irrigation, right? Then another category is that the growing of plantation crop and the processing of the crop is usually done by the plantation farms. Kurati vachitoita plantations avo products avo ndo vanogona kumaprocessa ndo vanozoenda nawo into finished goods, right? From this, let us look at what you call the merits or the advantages of what you call plantation. The merits or the advantages of what you call plantation. These are the benefits of plantation agriculture to the nation and also to the region. These are the benefits or what you call the merits or the advantages. Zvakanakirawo plantation kunyika. Number one, plantation agriculture is very important. Why? Because it creates employment. It creates employment for both skilled and unskilled workers. For example, Tabopa example of a triangle, it employs about 6,000 people. All right. Then also T in Chipinge employs a lot of people. We can't name the figure, right? Number two, it generates forex to the country. Throughout, it gives a revenue to the government. It gives the revenue to the what? To the government, right? It results in what? In infrastructure development. For example, we are talking about piped water. We are talking about development of airports. We are talking about development of towns. For example, the town yaka developed as out of plantation. We are talking of also development of schools. For example, Hippo Valley High School, it developed as a result of a plantation. All right. Another benefit of a plantation to the country is that it provides food for the nation. It provides food for the nation, right? And also it can help out growers in terms of skills. Vanonzi outgrowers vanhu vekuti tine plantation redu sezvizvi. Ivo vanenge vari kunoku vachirimawo nzimbe vari uku vachirimawo nzimbe vari uku. So this plantation as a result will help this one with skills, will help also this one with what? Skills and also knowledge about how to grow the type of crop that is being grown in this what? In this plantation. I think you are assisted. All right, let's go to what you call demerits or disadvantages of a plantation, right? Number one, it uses a lot of land. It uses a what? A lot of land, which can result in local people becoming what? Becoming landless. Kureva kuti tambotora mumakatasi tikati it occupy a large piece of land, and as a result chaona kuti vanhu vazhinji, the local people, they become what? Landless. That is the first disadvantage, right? Number two, most plantation farms are foreign owned, which means most of the profits are taken outside of the country. Instead of this plantation to develop our nation, Zimbabwe or any nation, the profits, they'll go to develop the owners of the plantation, which is outside of the country, because they are mainly owned by foreign countries. So tichaona kuti pachavane inonzi iyo repatriation of profits, where my profits are kubva muno muZimbabwe achinodevelopa other countries, Zimbabwe ichingosara isina kudevelopa, right? Another disadvantage of using a plantation is that the system of growing one type of crop konzeresa anonzi iwo pest and disease. It led to pest and disease. So in other words, we are saying monoculture, it led to pest and disease, and also it led to soil infertility. Right? Relying on one type of crop is not safe, since if the price of that crop falls on the world market, a lot of profits will be lost, right? Relying on one crop can be affected by outside factors such as floods, such as droughts, as well as world campaigns. Zvese zvinogona kuaffecta kana muchirelya ne one type of a crop, right? Plantation also, they needs too much capital for it to work. Hazvigoni kuti utange a plantation without enough capital. You need too much high capital. What about usina capital? It becomes a disadvantage for you, all right? I think you are assisted on plantation agriculture. This is a type of what you call commercial agriculture. And remember, commercial agriculture is the growing of crops and rearing of animals for sale. Right? I think you're assisted. Please, after watching this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share. If you want to join our online lessons we are beginning this year, suppose you want to prepare for November examination, just contact us on the number shown on your screen. Thank you so much.